6 years ago, I was diagnosed with hypogonadism, aka low testosterone. In this video, I just kind of want to talk about my TRT journey. It has been something that I have avoided talking about on this channel for quite some time, despite it being like one of the most normal and consistent parts of the channel as it was coming to be. YouTube went through this adpocalypse witch hunt phase of flagging potentially dangerous content, and so I became very fearful to speak about my experience on testosterone replacement therapy. I want to be perfectly clear with everybody. I am doctor prescribed. I found out I had low testosterone in the midst of a treatment-resistant depression via multiple blood draws, and I take a therapeutic dose of 140 milligrams per week of testosterone cypionate intramuscular as prescribed by my doctor for my diagnosed medical condition. So I am not on testosterone recreationally speaking. I just want to make that really, really clear. Even recording this, I'm nervous that it could create problems for my channel because of the fact that all my content got flagged. I got 2 community guideline strikes just for talking about this part of my life. Hopefully this goes okay. So this video is brought to you today by one of my amazing patrons who supports this channel. When I was 25 years old, I was in the midst of a treatment-resistant depression. I had been on a slew, as many of you guys know, I'd been on a slew of psych meds, antidepressants, antipsychotics, tricyclics, which is an old school antidepressant, mood stabilizers, forms of shock therapy, hospitalizations, cognitive behavioral therapy, depression support group. I mean, I was a mess, right? I was a mess for like a year when I was 25 after I had this big nervous breakdown. And I couldn't get better. I couldn't get better. I didn't know what was going on. I was barely surviving. And then one fateful night, I saw this infomercial for men with hormone issues. It was like an ad definitely geared towards older men. I was 25 at the time. But all of the symptoms of low testosterone on this infomercial were symptoms I was feeling. Lethargy, hopelessness, depression, erectile dysfunction, inability to lose fat, inability to gain muscle. I was a mess. And so I went to my doctor. I said, hey, this is like a year and a few months into my treatment-resistant, dangerous depression with suicidality, anxiety, or whatever. I remember just being like this weak, feeble person. I was like, is there any chance that I could have a hormone issue? And my doctor immediately was like, no, you're 25. I begged him to do blood work just to find out. I was so desperate for answers. My blood results came back and I had the testosterone level of like a 100-year-old man. The average 25-year-old has a testosterone level, total testosterone level of around 600-700 nanograms per deciliter. And I had a total testosterone of 150. 150. More importantly is the free testosterone, and that was bottomed out as well. So my body was low on the most important hormone a man can have for feeling well. And my doctor didn't believe it. He just didn't believe it. It didn't make sense to him. So we did another blood draw, same thing. We did another blood draw, same thing. And because we were unable to identify the exact root cause, and I was in such a desperate space, they started me on exogenous testosterone. And it was, this is what my little bottle looks like. You guys see that? So it was a really powerful moment in my recovery. And I was so thankful that there might be an answer to my problems. I was desperate. And so I immediately started, and I have to admit, the first 3 weeks, no improvement in mood at all. But what I did have within the first month or so is an improvement in energy levels and an improvement in appetite. I just was one of those depressed people that wasn't hungry. I just felt no pleasure from food at that time. And so testosterone brought back my appetite, and over the course of the next 6 months, it did slowly start to give me some wherewithal. Like it just helped move the needle enough to where I was starting to feel a little bit better. I wasn't feeling great, but I was starting to feel a little bit better, mentally speaking. And what I think more than anything, as I look back retrospectively, is it gave me an edge to continue to pursue my mental health. For a while, when I first started my TRT, I remember thinking, okay, this is going to be it. Like, oh, the secret weapon. Like, if I just take this, I'm going to be great. I'm not going to have any problems anymore. It's going to heal me. And it wasn't that simple. And it's a message I relay to a lot of guys who are like, I started TRT I don't feel as good as I thought I was going to feel, and so they quit. It's like I knew that the symptoms of low T were too dangerous and damning to stay where I was, right? Especially if I didn't know why I was low T, and there's a myriad of reasons. But I just didn't know the specific reason. So I wasn't in the mood to ever come off until I could figure out why. And so I knew that I just needed to hang in there and stick with it. And the increased energy and the increased appetite led to me wanting to exercise more. So it helped me have the energy to go back to the gym. I made it a priority to work out, to support my mental health, because I finally had energy again, right? I couldn't build muscle, I couldn't lose fat when I was like extremely low testosterone. But now that I had testosterone in me, I felt excited to train again. I was using that as a coping mechanism, and I was digging deeper into my mental health issues. And I also gained a lot of fat. Like, I just started eating so much and working out so much, and food started tasting good again, that I gained a bunch of weight on TRT. And that was one of those things that like I didn't know was going to be a side effect. I got up to 245 pounds. And over the last few years of being on TRT, I've had to slowly navigate that relationship of having more appetite, realize that I had an unhealthy relationship with food. It just opened the door to a lot of possibilities. It woke me up. Being on TRT woke me up. Now, I've cataloged all this stuff, and I re-uploaded a lot of the content on my channel, so if you want to go look. But one thing that's happened over the years on TRT is that just became a normal thing, is that I've experimented with multiple or more frequent dosing. So injecting every other week, injecting every week, injecting twice a week. And I found that once a week works best for me. I'm most likely to be consistent that way. I do pin myself. I've done plenty of videos on that. I just felt like learning how to do that was really important. I also have gone from having 200 milligrams a week down to 140. And 140 seems to be a really, really good sweet spot for me. My doctor and I both agree. And not much has changed for quite a long time. And I'm really interested to make some changes or to see where things are at, because I've never been in as healthy a space as I am now. So all in all, my testosterone replacement therapy is incredibly powerful to me, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I found it. But it is just a piece of the puzzle, and a very important piece of the puzzle. But I no longer lean on it to fix everything. I still need to take responsibility for my self-care, my physical health, my diet, my sleep, things like that. And it was just a boost to work on those things, an important boost to work on those things. I'm very, very grateful. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now with my TRT. I haven't started HCG, which is something guys do to maintain size in their testicles. That's one thing that happened with my TRTs. My balls got smaller, which is fine. I'm infertile now. That's another thing worth mentioning. I did get tested for that. And so since I've been taking exogenous testosterone for so long, my production of what little I had is down or gone completely. So I can't have kids right now, which is fine. I don't think I want kids. And in terms of like what are the long-term health risks or benefits, it's like I always leverage the health risks of low T, and then I try to live a really healthy lifestyle and maintain blood work and make sure that all of that's going well. So my blood work has always been really good at this dose, and I live a really good clean lifestyle in general to promote good health, so that my TRT can just be a part of my life, not like something I use as an excuse to treat myself like crap. I'm sort of rambling and ranting, but be on the lookout for a video where I go over new blood work. I'm definitely going to do that. I don't take an estrogen blocker because my dose is so low that I just don't convert enough testosterone into estrogen for that to be a problem, which can be a thing for some guys. But as of right now, that's it. I mean, it's a part of my life, and yeah, that's it. So take-home message for you guys is to remember that I still struggle with depression and anxiety on testosterone. It just gave me more energy to work on it and helped a bit, but it wasn't a cure-all. It definitely helped me be able to pursue fitness with more vitality, so I could build muscle for the first time, which was wonderful. I really appreciate that. Like, health and fitness is such a big part of my life, and testosterone replacement therapy gave that back to me. Because if you've ever, let me tell you, when you have no testosterone in your body and you try to have the energy to work out, plus you're depressed, it's like you can't. And then even when you do, you can't build muscle or lose weight. It's horrible. And I'm open to coming off it long term. I really, really am. I'm going to do whatever's best for my health. And that is sort of like going to be one of the next tiers, one of the next phases of my life. Because mentally speaking, I'm in like the best space I've ever been in since getting sober. And so I feel like a lot of things are clicking, and we're just going to see what happens going forward. If you struggle with mood, before hopping on psych meds, in my opinion, go find out if you have a hormone imbalance, because you might have one like I did. And getting that addressed has been very powerful for my mental health, my physical health, and I'm so thankful for that. So make sure you do that yourself. Like, just find out. You don't have to do anything or start anything. There's a lot of different ways you can administer TRT if you need it, but something was going on that my body couldn't produce enough testosterone, and I was suffering for it. I really, really was. Please let me know in the comments below if there are other topics of TRT that you want me to cover. I suppose I can just get out of this fearful space that YouTube has me in and start trying to put out more content on TRT, because there might still be a demographic out there that wants to see that. So depending on how this video goes, that'll help me know what to do going forward. And then be on the lookout for a new blood work video, and I'll definitely let you guys know if anything changes in that department. Ultimately, I just want to be healthy. I just want to be healthy, and as long as my TRT, I'm doing it for the right reasons and it's helping me, that's great. That's great. If at any point it's hurting me physically or mentally, I will be a responsible adult and acknowledge that and move forward. But I could see myself being on it long term also, if that's what needs to happen. I'm okay. Whatever's best for my health and my wellness. Because I don't want to go back to life with low testosterone. It was awful. It was really, really awful. We'll see you guys in the next video. Blue Cools is the patron. Thank you so much for supporting this channel and for providing this video. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.